YouTube, thank you so much for tuning in today. Now, in today's video, we are cutting from Headlines Barbershop, man. We're cutting Dwayne, and he's been with the brand for forever, man. So look, this is what we're gonna do. He's still growing out his hair. He said he's chilling. It's all up to you. I'm growing out my hair. Let's see what we can do. If you saw my last video, you already know every single hairstyle, every single hair texture, I use the same process no matter what. We're gonna start this process with the clipper all the way closed. And I'm gonna put my bald line in. I'm gonna be starting right at the corner here and straight back, so that way we can set a nice baseline for our high taper. Now that the baseline is already set for the high taper, now we're gonna go ahead and give ourselves our first panel that we can really stretch out that bald to half width. So I'm gonna go now with the lever all the way open, and we're gonna give ourselves a decent amount of space that we can blend out. Now we're gonna use the 1.5 guard with the lever open. You see, typically I feel like with the 1.5 guard lever open, when you're really working on the heel, and when I say the heel, you'll notice on your clipper blade, eventually the blade bends, right? You have the tip of the teeth, and then you have like the more flush part where the screws go into your clipper. So if I lean it back onto that part where the screws of the clipper blade are rocking on the person's head, that's more considered cutting on the heel. And it's gonna leave a much softer finish. That's what I like to do to really sculpt and create the shape that I want. And once I clear the bulk, I will be lowering the lever to where it's the 1.5 guard closed. And now instead of working on the heel of the blade, now I can actually lean that clipper more forward. So I'm working on the teeth, and I'm really starting to remove and work my way through that line of bulk that we left. So cool, now that's already done with the 1.5 guard. Now we're gonna work our way back down. Let's take the number 1 guard with the lever open on the heel and start polishing out that line. And after you finish with that, close the lever with the 1 guard. And now you'll notice like it's already gonna start looking really blended. It's not completely there, but the progress is being made. So now you're done with the 1 guard, and we're gonna take our 1/2 guard now. you know, you could start. I would probably recommend, if you're not fully comfortable, start with the half guard with the lever all the way open, and then go halfway and then close. Just remember, the more closed that your lever is, incrementally you're working your way lower and lower throughout the haircut. And now that that's done, guys, it's gonna be so easy now, because the last thing that's left to do is we just have to worry about that very bottom bald line. We faded our way all the way down. Now, if we start with the clipper all the way closed, now here's a secret. I find it a lot easier to take out that bald line. You remember how I started all the way closed? I'm not gonna go to notch 1. I'm gonna actually put the lever right in between notch 1 and notch 0. So I'll barely open it up just a little bit, hit that line, and now from there forward, click, 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 each time moving a little bit higher, a little bit higher, a little bit higher. Being very careful that I don't work my way too high and put a line in the fade. We've already put so much work to avoid the line. If you get nervous as you work your way up, you can tilt the clipper on its side just a little bit and really use like just the last 2 or 3 teeth of the clipper just to give it a softer finish and be a little bit safer. And now look, we are getting to the lineup process. Now, the best thing that I like to do, you know, I'm gonna go ahead and comb down just a little baby hairs right there on the edge. I'll go ahead and go in there with the clipper open, and I'll start to lay down just a couple of the hairs that are right there on the edge. I'm not gonna try to give him a whole front taper. That's not really the goal. I just need a couple hairs that I can use to line him up. And then you'll notice I'm gonna start my way right here in the middle. And as I work my way to the middle, I'm gonna go towards the more prominent side, get that lineup done, return to the middle, work my way towards the weaker side. And just take your time. You know, you can blend efficiently, but if anything, I want you to slow down and take your time here during the lineup. And now we can go in with our enhancement. So we're gonna use the clutch card, we're gonna use the Tomb 45 no drip enhancement, and we're gonna be using it to enhance the haircut. Now remember, the key word is enhancement. It's not a fixer. It's not that I messed him up or anything, but he did have a naturally light corner. I placed the card right up against the edge. I do what I need to do. Bean put it the best way possible. The other day, he put it, how did he word it? He worded it like, I'm gonna spray the color onto the card and I'll let the color just bounce off of the card just to barely work its way into the hair. So everyone has the understanding that this color is not gonna last forever. At the same time that the edge is gonna be losing its sharpness about 2 or 3 days later, that's exactly when the enhancement is gonna start fading away. Now your client can make it last longer if they choose to delay their hair washing, or maybe they're gonna use hairspray or whatever, but just give them realistic expectations for the haircut. You know, that razor work that we do on a lineup, that only lasts a couple days, just like the enhancement. So that's why I have no problem offering enhancements to my clients. So look, I appreciate you guys watching this video. This is the haircut system I use on every single hair texture, every single hairstyle, and it helps me keep maximum efficiency so I can make the most amount of money possible every single day in the barbershop. So if you learned something from this system, definitely stay tuned, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on the next video, man. I'll see you soon.